everybody's present. I'm back to bringing gifts. I am everybody's present. And I'm the one smoking that shit that everybody's smelling. So you ain't gotta guess it, that's him. Watch out, and I'm the champion. Overdose flow, overdose slow, comatose. Whoa, that's a knockout. Don't make me hop out, pull a Glock out. Watch out for I let Will show you what the shop out. And BC's and Neanderthal we see. He bleed any nigga existing in 3D. And yeah, wrong, get it on, get them wrong. And them very bomb bullets in them home. Yeah, and Jay a slave with the K-O-K. Lil nigga, but with the gun, but he take your space. And they gon' hate, but they gon' wait till our time's up. Now give me a clock I can wind up.
The champ is here! The champ is here! The champ is here! The champ is here! Shell Master Soul! The champ is here! The champ is here! The champ is here! Shell Master Soul!
Look, and if I don't get signed, it's a damn shame. And these damn lames in my damn lane. Move or get popped like the damn top of some champagne. Maybe ace in a damn spade. Booze or rampage, cause the man crazy and he damn thing. Go with you setting my aim. Shoot. And when I shoot him, I diluting with the flow. You trash niggas polluting with the flow. So I would recommend me stepping in and wrecking them till it's the death for them. No weapon. I step with a metal band, so let them in and I'm wetting them. Yeah, and I'm the best, fuck heckling him. So if you testing, I'm checking him. And I'm setting them regulations. I stepped it in, so holla at your boy, the champ is here. Yeah.
The champ is here! Shell Master of Soul! The champ is here! The champ is here! The champ is here! Shell Master of Soul! The champ is here! The champ is here! Shell Master of Soul!
Hola, Jam in the Box, Shell Master of Soul, doing it to you on Club Saturday Night up in here. Finally, we are here on Club Saturday Night. Man, had a little technical difficulties getting in. Had a little, what you call it, Dave? A storage problem. I guess we had overload all of the shows that we had, and we had to make some adjustments and increasing our storage capacity. And we didn't have enough storage space to air. I thought we were on. I mean, we had just enough to get on, and then all of a sudden it was it. So Dave had to go back in and make some corrections and some delete out in there. Okay. Join me, of course, is Dave the Man. Our engineer, Dr. G, of course, is in the house, and he brought Vanessa with him. What's up, Vanessa? Glad to see you. Good to you in the studio here at WHPNN Radio Network. Streaming, baby. Streaming nationally throughout the internet. We are streaming worldwide. We streamed to over 200 countries. Let's come to the neck of the woods to bring them Club Saturday Night. Thank you guys so much for you joining us and being here. So sorry for some of you guys who are like, what's going on? What happened? I mean, what took place? Wow, we lost him. So hope we get you guys back. We do appreciate you so much. If you want to text us, man, you want to text us because we'll have the phone line open. Next couple of weeks, Dr. G was telling me. We're going back home. We're going to Blog Talk Radio, and we're going to be able to do a lot with Blog Talk Radio. And so we're going to go back to Blog Talk. That's where we originated from Blog Talk Radio. Club Saturday Night came from Blog Talk Radio. That's where we started. We were known as MTG, Party with the Boys, on Club Saturday Night. No, on Saturday night. Yeah, one club. On Saturday night. MTG Party the Boys on Saturday night. So later, after 6 years, the name changed to Club Saturday Night. And we stayed there for about a couple of years, and then we branched out and we came over to the other family, which is Speaker.com. Glad to be part of Speaker.com, and we love them down there at Speaker.com. Also, we're part of iHeartRadio. We're live right now on iHeartRadio. Right now, we're live right now, iHeartRadio. We're live on Spotify. We're live on Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts. We're even live on Amazon Music. You can get us on Amazon Music just as well. We're live on YouTube right now. YouTube, if they don't cut us, we don't do something crazy. They keep us in line. Thank you, YouTube. We love you, appreciate you. They say, oh, there you go again. They did something wrong. Come on. We are a project in motion. We're going to get it right. We're going to get it right. Come on, you two. Hang. We're going to get it right. We're going to get it right. But we appreciate them down there at YouTube just as well. Thank you guys so much. We do love you guys down there, and we appreciate you. And we promise we're gonna get everything right. We're gonna do it 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 right. We're a rebel, but we're gonna do it right. We're gonna do it right. We're gonna do it right. That's how we do it. Okay. Love you guys down there at YouTube. Also, Denzer. We on Denzer Live too. What's up, Denzer? Man, you guys out there wonderful at Denzer. What's happening with you guys? Man, you guys are wonderful. I know I mentioned Apple Podcasts. What's up, Apple Podcasts? How you guys doing? You guys are doing. We love you out there. A lot of people on Apple Podcasts. Man, a lot of good shows on Apple Podcasts. Mortgage Talk. You know, our flag show is on Apple Podcasts. Man. So what's up, Apple Podcasts? And Podchaser. Glad to be on Podchasers too. Glad to be there to you. What other one called? Joshua? I'm messing you up. I'm so sorry. I better get my act together. Yeah, you're right. I better get my act together. Thank you, Dr. G. I'm trying to get my act together. I'm going to get my act together. Okay. Black Man News coming up in the broadcast. It's supposed to be coming up at the 1 o'clock hour, but guess what? It's going to be at the bottom of the 1 o'clock hour because we started late. So Black Man News will be coming up. And at 1:30, a little known Black History fact. A little known Black History fact. I'm gonna spread some love to you out there. You know, I hear some of these Republicans talking about what did black people do? What? Or I hear some Republicans saying we're gonna take back America, as if to say that we don't took America and ran it into the ground. You wouldn't have an America if it weren't for black people. I'm gonna say this again because a lot of you don't believe it. You wouldn't have an America, and why you don't, I don't know. Look at all of the inventions that's been around, and it's not no few. You have not outweighed us on creating nothing. You have not outweighed us on creating the life that we have today. From the medicine, from open heart surgery, from the automobile, from the clock, from the motor. I can go on and on and on. And what's sad is a lot of our young people out here today don't know this because you help it and you suppress that information. You try to erase it from history. But that's why shows like mine and others out there are proud to bring you a little known Black history fact. Yeah, man, I love it. I learn more and more and more when I'm digging into little known Black history facts. So we're going to bring you little known Black history facts on every show that we do. And then we're going to bring you Black Man News on top of it. Hey, that's what we're going to do. That's what's happening going on today for what we're doing. Joe Biden had his speech, talking about the violence that took place in Texas and the recent one that took place in Boston. Wow. He's doing a lot of calling. I'm gonna talk about that in the bottom of the hour at 11:30 on Black Man News. I will talk about that too, and I'll give you my opinion on that too. Okay, because it is so strong until I gotta suppress myself right now from sharing my opinion with you right now on it. But a lot of you are going to agree with me on this, and a lot of you will not agree. But I got to give my opinion because I am against you taking our guns away from us 100%. And I know this. I know it's what the dragon is doing. He's hiding behind these tragedies, and nothing breaks my heart to hear about these babies that got killed in Texas. I mean, these are babies. When you man, just think about it as a parent. When you drop your kid off at school, drop your grandchild off at school. My wife does it. Drop her grandson off at school. When you drop your kids off at school and you leave, you go take care of your business. You go to work. You go to do whatever you have to do, whether it's go to pay bills, whether go to shop, or whether you have to go do errands for your mother or your grandmother or a sick friend. And in the process of doing that and where you're going, you're watching your surrounding as it is, especially a woman. The way they abducting women now. So you got to watch where you are. You can't park between no two vans. Are you a fool? You don't park between no van if you're a woman. No van. If that's the only space you got, then you walk. You park down there or you bypass that store and go to the next one. You don't ever park between no van. Period. Whether you're on the outskirt of the van or not, you don't park between vans. I've been saying that a long time. Long time. But you think about these things and you looking out for your own safetyness. And you go shopping and you're thinking about the bills that you got to pay and you're thinking about maybe the last conversation that you had with a bill collector or with your friend or whatever. That's tingliness on your mind. Meanwhile, you watching your surroundings as best as you can. You're not thinking about, no thought has gone to it, is my child safe at school? And then until you hear it on the news or get a phone call. School is supposed to be safe for our children. Always have been. Now all of a sudden, now it's not. Security is poor and lax. Funds has been spent. You get a lot of funds for school. So don't give me that I'm broke BS. You got off-duty police officers at school, but then you want to handcuff them on what they can do and say. Because a few unworthy cops came there and did the wrong thing, of course. They should never have been cops anyway. I'm against anybody in blue that should never be in blue. I'm all for blue. I am all for blue. I'm not for blue when you got an unworthy cop there that should never, ever have that uniform on. But that's another story. You heard my point on that. But nevertheless, you don't think about this as far as your kids being safe at school, that they're not. So I understand the uproar. I really do. But I also can see the dragon slipping his way in to try to play on the sympathy and play on that to strip away the guns from law-abiding citizens and strip away our rights to bear arms. Even though you can hear him when the dragon says, I'm not talking about taking your guns away. Yes, the fuck you are. But that's what they say. Whether they're Democrats or Republicans. Same body, two different heads. But that's what it is. But then when you speak out against that, or you say, I'm for the NRA, then you are insensitive to what's happening. What's happening in the schools and whatever. That has nothing to do with the right to bear arms. It really doesn't. There should be measurements there to be able to make changes in there, but it has nothing to do with taking rights away from law-abiding citizens or making it even more difficult for law-abiding citizens. Do you know that state of Illinois has the toughest gun laws in the union? Did you not know that? I'm going to elaborate a little bit more, okay? Not just give you my opinion, but I'm just elaborate. You can give me your opinion, okay? About a couple of weeks, we'll have the phone lines open, and you'll be able to call in and talk, and I'll shut up and I'll listen, okay? Meanwhile, you can text in at 708-577-0328. Hey, do it now. 708-577-0328. Give us your opinion. I'll read it over there. You know, just give us your opinion on what you think. And I'll read it over the air. Okay? I read over the air following Black Man News. I will read it over the air. So I'll get your opinion out there, okay? Whether I agree with it or not. That's what we do. So, without any further delay, and Dave is running around because something's wrong over there. Are we having problems again? Well, I'm done. I'm not going to stall. And, I'm done. I'm done. This is all on Dave. I'm done. Where the music at, Dave? Dave, where the music?
Every time I see your face, it makes me wanna sing. And every time I think about your love, it drives me crazy.
WHBNN Radio Network. Club, baby. Club Saturday night.
My lady, tell me what's wrong with your boyfriend. Come on. He holds the key to your heart, but he don't love you, baby, like I do. I only wanna be with you. Smile on your face, baby. You are a queen of my heart, baby. I belong to you, and you belong to me, yeah. Girl, you are the love of my life, baby. Cloudy days, they fade away when you come my way, baby. I belong to you. I belong. I give all my love to you. Girl, if you were mine, I'd never do you wrong, baby. 'Cause I give all my love. I belong to you. I belong. I give all my love. Listen up, you lady. I will say, my lady. I give I belong to you, baby. Oh, 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 oh. Every time I see your face, it makes me wanna sing. And every time I think about your love, it drives me crazy.
Jamming about your master soul right here on Club Saturday night. I got started a little late. Then my chair broke on me, and on top of that, so man, we had a lot of issues happening here. But the show must still go on. Man, I'm still perturbed over that a little bit. While Dave sat back and laughed at me.
As around the sun, the earth does seem to revolving, and the rosebuds know the bloom in early May. Just hate knows love's the cure. You can rest your mind sure that I'll be loving you always. Now can't reveal the mystery of tomorrow, but in passing we'll grow older every day. Just as honest, fun as you know what I say is true. But I'll be loving you always. Until the rainbow like a star in the sky. Always. Until the ocean covers everybody's mind. Always. Until the golden light is everything I see. Always. Did you know that true love asks for nothing? Her acceptance is the way we pay. Did you know that life is giving love a guarantee to last forever another day? Just as time knew to move on since the beginning, and the seasons know exactly when to change. Just as kindness knows no shame, knows before your joy and pain. I'll be loving you always. As the day I know may be but tomorrow, it makes me the past, but that I mustn't fear. For I'll know deep in my mind the love of me I left behind. 'Cause I'll be loving you always. Until the day is night and night becomes the day. Always. Until the trees and seas just stop and fly away. Always. Until the day that we can make our ladies whole. Always. Until the day that is the day that I no more. Did you know you love by somebody? It's a feeling right to live.
future, we'll travel to
Smiling faces sometimes pretend to be your friend. Smiling faces show no traces of the evil that lurks within. Can you dig it? Smiling faces sometimes they don't tell the truth. Smiling faces tell lies, and I got proof. Oh Lord, yeah.
Jumping the Box Club Saturday night. Do what you do, how you do, when you do. I got one for you. Tonight's the night we're gonna salute, baby. We're gonna salute one of the most peripheral groups out. That came out in the late 70s and the 80s. Kick Booty. Rode on to the 90s. And their music still play on. It's gonna be our salute to Cameo tonight. We're gonna salute Cameo. Up next, a Cameo jam.
I'm all alone in my dreams. Yeah. I just feel so weak. No one knows the pain I see when I'm all alone. Now that you're gone. Now
So, do what you do, how you do, when you do. That's what you do up in here. And going Club Saturday night. But you know what? I got one for you. As we're going to salute, baby. I almost said the Gap Band. We need to salute the Gap Band. People don't know what the word GAP stands for Black Wall Street. We need to tell them about the Gap Band and the history of the Gap Band. Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to do that for you. But we got to play some jams. Cameo, baby. Salute the Cameo tonight. It's our way of saying thank you, Cameo. We love you. Thank you for your music. It's Maxwell. Bob. Jamming the box, jamming the soul. Ah, man. Do what you do, how you do, when you do. Up in here! Cameo.
that you were mine. 'Cause to me, you're one of a kind. When I look at you, it seems so untrue. How someone like you can make me feel the way you do. I see that sparkle in your eyes. You're so fine for all the world to see. I find you hard to believe. You see, you make me wanna love you. When I look at you, it seems so true. Just like when I look at you, I see.
Lord, jumping about jam, master of soul. Do what they do, how they do. Back to back, track to track. Hey, I had to blow this up at the club. Cameo. Hey, that's what we do back to back, baby. This old school sound, old school. I salute. Yeah, one of the best. I remember getting them in the record pool. I said, this group gonna be bad. I like the album. They had all the animal faces on it. I played that. What a jam. Hot City Disco. 2+2. Market Park Lounge. Used to exist. Change their name. One Below with disco lights. Jamming with the music, huh? Yeah. Jam Master is there. Play the music, y'all.
That it was never ever done. The two of us was it me, but maybe it was you.
Music is here for everyone, just to dance, just to have some, just because we did it doesn't mean we can have some more.
Meant to be, what we have to see. You won't meant to be, I'll just want to be.
What you want me to be?
I'll be your today.
What you want me to be? Play my music loud, I'll do my best for you. 'Cause when the music's bumping, it's hard to tell what we're gonna do. If you think you can, we'll dance to that all night. 'Cause the pleasure I can give will make things turn out right. If you want me to, I'll do it. If you want to dance, let's get to it. Let's not take too long, let's move it. 'Cause when you take too long, you lose it.
Who said that thought was done just by one? Who said that it was never ever done? Who said the two of us couldn't root? It wasn't even maybe it was you.
Music is here for everyone, just to dance, just to have some, just because we did it doesn't mean we can have some more.
Just by one. Who said that it was never ever done? The two of us couldn't root. But maybe it was you.
Who's that? We said.
I put my feelings on safety, so I don't go shooting where your heart be. 'Cause you take the bullet trying to save me, then I'm left to do I'm making you bleed. And that's a whole lot of love, ain't trying to waste it. Like we be running them out and never make it. That's just too bitter for words, don't wanna taste it. That's just too bitter for words, don't wanna face it. But I think that I'm done tripping, I'm tripping, I've been sipping, that's how I control this feeling you keep giving, you keep on getting it, ooh, oh. Baby, it's your love, it's too good to be true. Baby boy, your love got me tripping on you. You know your love is big enough, made me trip on you. Yeah, it's big enough, got me tripping on you. Tripping on you. My bad for tripping on you. Tripping on you. My bad for tripping on you. Tripping on you. Know I'm cool when I ain't waiting, but I act a fool when I don't get it. And I'm steady bruising just to save this, but I tripped on your love, now I'm addicted. And that's a whole lot of love, ain't trying to waste it. Like we be running them out and never make it. That's just too bitter for words, don't wanna taste it. That's just too bitter for words, don't wanna face it. But I think that I'm done tripping, I'm tripping, I've been sipping, that's how I control this feeling you keep giving, you keep on getting it, ooh, oh. Baby, it's your love, it's too good to be true. Baby boy, your love got me tripping on you. You know your love is big enough, made me trip on you. Yeah, it's big enough, got me tripping
I'm making this quick video because it has been one. I'm someone. All I want is forever. I don't want much from you, just your love my whole life through. That's all I want. Yeah, that's all I want. And all I need is to be with you always. I don't need much, you see, just need eternity. Yeah, to be with you, yes, to be with you forever. All I want is forever. Am I asking too much? Asking for all your love forever. Oh, all I know is when we're together, baby. Time passes much too fast, and I want to make it last forevermore, girl, forevermore. And all my life, I've been waiting to find you, baby. Now that you're finally here, oh, I want you always near to share my life. Yes, to share my life. All I want is forever. That's all I want, baby. Am I asking too much? Asking for all your love forever. Won't you give me forever? Make it last, baby. I'm not asking too much. Asking for all your love forever. Just say that you will stay always, and always you'll be mine, at least till the end of
Club, baby, club. Saturday night.
Have never been so much
That's my old high school song, huh?
in love before.
true love made in
walks, I like the way she talks, and she turns me on with a special concern. Now I'm a different guy, and I don't compare to many. But next to her, I'm plain ordinary. Not many can see the light blue aura that surrounds the girl wherever in the world. She's a 9, a 10, a 20, 50. She's bittersweet and a taco treat. She's strange, and I like it. Just the way she is. Walking down the avenue, always doing something new. She's the kind of person everybody knows. She reeks distinction from head to toe. She's my Twilight Zone, my Al Capone. She's She's my Rolling Stone and my Eva Peron. And I like it. Yes, I like it. I like it. The way she wears her hair, yeah. And I like it. I like it. In room 1, 2, 3, she's elusive, you see, like the invisible man in drag. And when you come to meet her, you'll never agree that she'll be waving a skirt as a flag. Like a cold in October, she'll take you right over. It's not mean to be facetious. And that look in her eye says you're the guy she plans to spend this evening with. She's strange. And I like it. And I like it. Just the way she is. Walking down the avenue. I like the way she does everything. Always doing something.
Gemma box. Gemma, so. We got a little on Black History Fact, don't we? Lady man. So, let's see what we got here. Little on Black History Fact. Yeah, I know. I got my mouth full of something. I know. I'm sorry. Let me clear myself. So, little on Black History Fact. Coming up. Rattle the paper a little bit. And what's my glasses? I can't see nothing anymore. I'm a senior citizen now. Let's see. Little on Black History Fact. Here's one for you. And this is interesting, because it really kills me when the Republican, like Donald Trump, when the Republican says they want to make America great again. And give insinuations that the black crime and what's going on in the black community is like we freeloaders riding on with them. Which is the most BS statement ever made. So, with that said, I join many others who have platforms to talk about Black history. Not just Black History Month in February, like that's all you got. Our Black history is 365 days in a year. Our Black history is beyond time. Because time doesn't exist. Only what we use as a tool that they gave us to do. And we train within it. But nevertheless, Black history in the essence of so-called time is 365 days in a year. So I want to share with you Black history. Yeah. Shirley Chisholm. I'm going to say her name again. You got to know her. Shirley Chisholm. Chisholm. Shirley Chisholm. You see, she was the first black woman elected to Congress. And she served or was served with multiple assassination attempts when she ran for president of the United States of America. Shirley Chisholm. Chisholm. Never forget her. A strong black woman. The first black woman elected to Congress. And then she ran for president. No other black woman did that back then. Don't you let them take away Shirley Chisholm from black history. John Baxter Taylor. John Baxter Taylor. You see, John was the first African American to win an Olympic gold medal. Did you not know that? The first African American to win an Olympic gold medal was John Baxter Taylor. Wow. Here's a little known Black history fact for you, and I bet you didn't know this one. Billie Holiday. Now, you heard of Billie Holiday, beautiful Billie Holiday, a beautiful black woman, beautiful mixed black woman. Her song, Strange Fruit, was originally published as a poet by Abel Meeropol. a Jewish school teacher. Did you not know that? Her song, Strange Fruit, was published. The lyrics were published. It was so beautiful. Published by a black Jewish woman that made money on it. But it originally came from Billie Holiday. Wow. Wow. Here's a black woman that I don't think you should ever forget. Hattie McDaniel. Hattie McDaniel. You see, Hattie was the first African American to win an Oscar. I'm going to say this again. Somebody missed this. Hattie McDaniel was the first African American woman to win an Oscar. Miss McDaniel wasn't even allowed, take this, to attend the premiere of what she won an Oscar in, Gone with the Wind. Her name, Hattie McDaniel. And last but not least, Phyllis Wheatland. Phyllis Wheatland. Man, all the beautiful black women making history. Phyllis Wheatland. At age 12 years old, she became the first published African American female artist. Did you hear what I just said? At age 12 years old, Phyllis Wheatland became the first African American woman to become a published author. Wow. Little known black history fact. And you talking about you don't know what we contribute? Man, you want me to go deeper than that and start talking about what we invent? Next week, little known black history fact. I'm going to have to dig a little deeper. So don't you fall for the yoki-doke. Because the yoki-doke is full of doo-doo. We're going to make America great. America always been great. We're going to make America great by getting rid of you and your racist thoughts and your racist implements and your racist tools and your racist build-up. America wouldn't be America if it wasn't for African-American people. Little known black history fact. Do what we do, how we do, when we do. Jam in the Box, Jam Master Soul, Club, baby, Club. Saturday night, Black Man News coming up top of the hour.
Call me on a lazy afternoon, asking me what I'm up to. Let's find something to do. Baby, I've been down, 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 down. You know I've been down, 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 down. See you around.
To recover. Take me to heart, and I'll always love you. And nobody can make me do wrong. Take me for granted, leaving love unshown.
what I want. And right now, I know that it's you. Rock me tonight for old time's sake, baby. Roll with me tonight for old time's sake. Ooh, girl, I'm gonna love you real good. Come on, let me do it now. You know I could. I really miss the way you squeeze and moan and call out my name. Ooh, you can call me baby. I remember you like to take your time to get in the mood. Ooh, yes you do, yeah. But once you're in the mood, you like to go straight to the room. Oh, yes you do, girl. It's been so long since we've had a night together. I miss you when I get through loving you. Fire and desire will burn in you forevermore. Rock me tonight for old time's sake, baby. Roll with me tonight for old time's sake. Woo, woo. Would you rock with me tonight for old time's sake, sweet baby, yeah. Roll with me tonight for old time's sake. Okay, come on and rock.
Man, jamming the box. My man Freddie Jackson doing it to you, huh? Yeah. That's what he do, baby. Old time thing, huh?
Come on, let me
Anita Baker coming up. Yeah, Nita. Spotlight Nina's gonna be Cameo, baby. You know we saluting Cameo tonight, baby. Nothing but the Cameos coming up. After Anita Baker, we're gonna have Cameo, man. Cameo, man, one of my favorite groups. Been jamming a long time. Do what you do, how you do, when you do. That's what you do. Right here on Club, baby. Club Session Night. Voila! Bob, shabab, bob, bob. I remember Nita a long time ago. Yes.
Operator, get my baby on the line. Just the other night, we had a horrible fight. I admit that I was out of control. I was struck my man with my body and soul. The road gets rough. You say things you should not say. I never meant to treat my baby that way. I apologize. Believe me, believe me, I do. I apologize. Honest and true. Because I know I was wrong. And so I sing this song. And I'm trying to get through. And make it up to you. Operator, it was like a bad dream. The Lord, you should have heard the way he shouted and the word I used. Oh, regretted, 'cause I was unfair. I took it all out on him, just because he was there. When the road gets rough, you say things you should not say. I never meant to treat my dad that way. I apologize. Believe me, believe me, I do. I apologize. Honest and true. Because I knew I was wrong. So I sing you this song. And I'm gonna get through you and make it up to you. I apologize for I was unkind. And I wish that I could roll back in time. Erase our goodbye. But come rain or come shine, I wanna move right this time. Now you come because I know I was wrong. And so I sing you my song. Because I know I was wrong. And so I sing you this song.
When you walk, when you pass me by, there's three things that come immediately to mind. One is I like to have you. Two is I love your face. The third one is irrelevant, 'cause there's no time or place.
Attack me with your love. Oh, stop me with your love, baby.
Attack me with your love.
Attack me with your love. What's wrong? Me with
just how I really feel. Cause intensely I'm for real, and I'm sure I'll make you feel that I'm a mean man and I'm a go-getter. Hey baby, baby.
Late at night, when the evening comes, I sit down to check my options, there are none. First thing I think about is your lovely smile and all the things that drive me wild.
Got me lady, got me crazy. What am I gonna do? Woo-hoo. Got you lady, got me crazy. What am I gonna do? If I can't have you, attack me with your love, attack me with your love, baby. Attack me with your love, attack me with your love, baby.
And I'll do all the things you want me to.
Attack me with your love, baby. Oh, attack me with your love, attack me with your love, baby. Hey, pretty lady, there's no defense against the love. I wanna show you how I feel. Hey, baby. Wow. Baby.
Night is young, here, take this glass. We'll toast to happiness and a love that'll never last. Of all the loves I've had before, no one can compare to me, you're so much more.
If you just let me do what I wanna do to you, I know I'll have you. Ooh, ooh. If you can't let me do what I wanna do to you, then I'll wait for you. I'll wait for you. Baby. Attack. Push back. Baby. Excite. Entice. Baby. Cause got me happy. Baby.
Woo-la! Jump in the box, man. Back to back, track to track. We're gonna do what we do, how we do when we do. Cameo for you as we salute Cameo. Indeed. Jam on it. Old school, baby. Old school sounds. Back in the day.
There's a special kind of person. Sometimes she's not all she sees. You only see what she wants you to see. And before you really know, it always seems to go.
some get back. Lay back. Lay back. That's it.
Oh Lord, by the sound, the master man himself, James Brown.
Down with my girlfriend. That ain't right. Woo! Walking, hollering, cuss. You wanna fight? Payback is a thing you got to see. Yeah. Never do any damn thing to me.
huh? Do what you do, how you do, when you do, baby. Club Saturday night. Man, I'm telling you, on a Saturday night in the Windy City. Jam on it. In the south suburbs, baby. That's where we jamming from. Mighty sound. A change. That's what Luther Vandross. You gotta start with them. Man, that's a good group. You gotta know the history of this group. This group is bad to the bone. Man, jamming the box, your master of soul. Sounds of change doing it to ya. As they do. Gotta tell you about them. They're from another country, though. I can't think of another country. Dave, do you remember? What do you mean what I asked you for? Okay. Dave the man! Oh, I asked you nothing else.
out of my mind. And there's no change from a runaway love. Is it a dream? Is it a dream that I'm throwing in the wishing well? I'm losing control, body and soul, standing here waiting for a train that may never come. I saw the signs, I read the book, I should have had a second look. Boy, you caught me dreaming. And there were times you'd come around and we'd agree just to be friends. Tell me who was deep water, I'm drowning in deep waters, slowly drowning in deeper, deep waters. I'm drowning in deep waters, slowly drowning in deeper. What do I say? What can I say? Where words have failed me before. What do I do when I'm feeling so blue? And there's no place for me to run and hide. I saw the sun inside your smile and wished for more than just a while. 'Cause boy, you got me dreaming. A giant step into the dark. We threw caution to the wind. Tell me who was flying. Deep water, I'm drowning in deep waters, slowly drowning in deeper, deep waters. I'm drowning in
I'm making this quick video because it has been 1 month since joining the Cashflow 101 system. And so what I wanted to do is make this video to show you the results that I've gotten in my first month joining the system. And so you see here, there's tons of packages. I don't know exactly how many. Got a calculator right here. We're going to calculate the running total. And I'm just going to show you what kind of result that I've gotten since joining this system. Now guys, the craziest part about all of this is that the only thing that I did was plug into the system, follow the instructions, and then literally get this cash sent directly to me, hassle-free. I don't do any selling, I don't do any closing, I don't do really anything. The system takes care of it all for me, which is insane that I plugged into a system and now I'm literally getting cash sent directly to me. So let's go ahead and count this up. It's the first package. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 1,000. 2,000. 3. So we got 3,800. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the calculator. So 3,800. I don't know about you, I don't know what your income level is, but right here, just one package, one person signed up, they sent me $3,800. This would be more than enough to replace most people's income in a month. All right, so we got a second package. We got $1,500. Get into the third package. And I just gotta say, you know, this has been the easiest system I've ever worked with. Simplest, the most stress-free. So let's go ahead and count this one. So the third package, 1, 2, 3, 15, 16. So we got $1,600. All right, got 1, 2, 3, 13, 14, 15. We got another 1,500. I really can't stress that enough. It's just, I almost didn't believe it. You know, just being honest. I mean, to have a system this good, these opportunities, these systems, they don't come around often. It's 1,500 again. All right, so right now we're at $9,900 for the month. I can say with just dealing with, you know, basic numbers, that's way more than the average American makes in a single month. The average American works way harder than following a system like this. That's the power of leverage, you know? 13, 14, 15. Yeah, this tape, it's the hardest part of my day is dealing with this tape. If you're at all skeptical, all I gotta say is, you know, look at the proof, check out the system, go through it, really understand what's being leveraged here, right? So 1,800 plus 1,500, we got 3,300. All right, so we got 3 more to go. How much harder do you work, and for how much money are you getting? You know, that's really what led me to sign up for this. Is when I heard just how simple and easy this is. Obviously, there's a risk with everything, but I tell you one thing: this definitely beats any of the jobs I've previously held. So $3,500, guys. I'm not joking. This is insane. Another $1,500. All right, last one. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 1,500. All right, so the total of 1 month. Here's all the cash. Guys, this was sent directly to me. I didn't have to close any single person that sent me this money. The system has handled it all. Like I said, is I plugged in, took a leap, I joined, I followed all the instructions, and then this is what we're seeing is the result. So, I mean, as you can see here, if you ever wanted to know what $21,000 looks like in a single month, this is what it looks like, guys. It's just gonna keep getting better, but this is my first month with the Cashflow 101 system. Really appreciate y'all checking this out. Super stoked. Y'all have a good one.
Hi, everyone. I'm Chris Hurt. And, well, there's no shortage of strange things going on in the world today. But you know what? This story may just take the cake. Best-selling author Nomi Prinz has been touring the country. In recent weeks, you may have seen her. She's appeared on Fox News, CNBC, even spoke with lawmakers on Capitol Hill recently to share precisely why life in America has become so difficult for so many of us and why, frankly, it's likely to get worse. Nomi herself is no stranger to controversy. In the past, she's taken on some of the most powerful government officials and institutions in the country to expose the truth behind the headlines. Today, she's come forward with perhaps her most bizarre and shocking report to date. I think, as you'll see, something very odd is going on with our money right now. It's right under our noses. And for folks who take notice, she says it could lead to unexpected, massive gains in the months ahead. Let's get to it. Nomi Prins, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, hi, Chris, and thank you so much for having me on.
You're very welcome. I got to say, you have been busy. You've been working like a woman on a mission. I can tell from looking at your schedule. You've been to, I think, 7 states, appeared on a half dozen programs in the last few months alone, all while finishing up your 7th book. What is going on?
First of all, Chris, let me just say I am so happy to be here. And yes, I am running on adrenaline and coffee because what's happening today, it should be the #1 story in the world of money. And yet it's hardly getting any coverage at all.
Mm-hmm. So is this another cover-up by the government or the mainstream media?
Not exactly. In many ways, it's actually worse than that. And the effects will be severe. People who don't see what's coming could suffer immensely in the months ahead. But if you understand what's going on right now, the flip side is that you're going to be fine, better than fine. You could even come out ahead if you make the right moves now.
Forgive me when I say this, but I'm just being honest here. When I listen to most economic experts out there, I'll be honest, it gives me a headache.
that is no accident, Chris. Right. I mean, the elite have cloaked this story in so many big words and jargon that few can understand it. And that's why I have taken the time to simplify what's happening so that everyone watching can see what's happening and prepare. Believe it or not, the most important story in the financial world. It has little to do with stocks or bonds or cryptos. It all traces back to this. A tiny, ordinary penny.
A penny? Seriously?
A penny.
All right, so tell me more.
Okay, but first let me ask you a question. How much is this penny worth, Chris?
Is it a trick question? I would say a penny is a penny. So that would be 1 cent, right?
Well, in the world we grew up with, Chris, of course you're right. But not anymore. Bear with me here, okay? I bought, with me, 2 rolls of copper pennies today.
Okay.
Right? And over here, tucked away, I have 2 single-dollar bills. So tell me, if you had 2 single-dollar bills, would you trade them to me for these 2 rolls of pennies?
I'm actually familiar with rolls of pennies. I know they come 50 cents to a roll. So the answer is no. You got $2 here. I'd lose half my money, right? $2 bills versus 1 full dollar in rolls. I keep the bills. $2 is twice as big as 1.
Okay, is that your final answer?
Final answer. I'm not a math whiz, but I think I got that straight.
Well, Chris, it turns out that these copper pennies are worth $2.99. Now, that is nearly triple their face value. And there's reason to believe that their value could soar to $5 or even $10 in the months ahead.
Okay, so hold on. You're saying that $1 face value, $1 in copper pennies could be worth $5 or $10 soon?
That is exactly what I'm saying. And here's the thing. These aren't even collectible coins.
Right.
There's literally nothing especially rare about them, though I would not be surprised if they did disappear one day. Because right now, they're worth more than 3 times their face value.
I had no idea. Very interesting, but I'll be honest with you, I don't think I'm going to want to start collecting these anytime soon.
Of course, that's cool, but that's not what I'm suggesting you do. The reason that I use this example, Chris, is that it illustrates a profound change to the entire financial system that's happening right now. So today, I'm going to share with you what's happening and what it means for you and your money. You can keep these pennies, Chris.
Oh.
That is my gift to you.
Thank you.
I think you'll be surprised when you see what's going on and how it could soon turn the financial world upside down and change everything from transportation to energy, even our money. practically overnight.
Yeah. Well, you've certainly got our attention here, and thank you for the pennies. The kids will appreciate that at home.
Sure, Chris, don't spend them all in one place. In all seriousness, what's happening today is unlike anything we've seen before, not in our lifetime anyway. We are witnessing a massive financial distortion. And if you've been watching the markets and just holding your breath waiting for sanity to return, you have a lot of company.
Mm-hmm.
But why is one copper penny suddenly worth 3 cents? And why do so many things just seem out of whack in the world? The best way to show you, I think, is with a picture.
Okay, yes. I think we've got that picture up on screen now. So what exactly are we looking at here?
Everything about life in America today can be explained in this one chart.
Everything in one chart.
Everything. From the election of Donald Trump to the rise of AOC, the toxic political climate of today, the soaring price of gasoline, tuition, healthcare, even the wild, unpredictable shortages that you've seen at the store everywhere. It also explains why most people, save for the rich, are struggling right now. Chris, this chart may not look like much to you, but to me, it's both terrifying and explanatory.
Well, you're right. All I'm seeing are a couple of lines here. So why exactly does this have you so worked up?
What you see here is a perfect example of something that I call a distortion. In this case, it shows how far the financial world has just drifted from reality. Do you see how these lines start out together and then they steadily grew apart?
Absolutely. Gap gets wider with the passage of time.
Right, so if this chart was measuring the closeness of a married couple, what would you think?
They're definitely in trouble, drifting apart. Maybe a divorce is inevitable.
Right, a kind of permanent separation.
Yeah.
Of course, this chart doesn't measure the health of a marriage, but it does show two data points that were once together and have since drifted apart. The top line, it represents the growth of our financial economy. Wall Street, Silicon Valley, the so-called elites.
Mm-hmm.
And then the bottom line, that's the growth of our wages, which you might call the real world economy. So to use your words, Chris.
Yeah, I think I see what you're saying here. Sorry, the financial world is now divorced, so to speak, from reality.
That's right.
Okay.
And the worst part is most people, they're hoping life will get easier and betting their retirement, their lives, their careers on some sort of return to sanity. But that's a losing bet, Chris. If you think things seem unreal now, just wait. Life for most people is about to get much stranger and even more confusing.
Okay. No, wow. So you just hit us with a ton of bricks there, Nomi, and I know you are aware of that. Are you saying we have to rethink everything at this point, that the chaos we're seeing now across America is somehow with us to stay? It's permanent?
Right. By the time we go off the air today, I promise that you're going to see the world in a totally different way, a much more accurate way. It may feel uncomfortable and different from what you're used to, but it's going to help you make sense of the strange events to come.
All right, I'm going to try to do my best to hang with you. I guess I'd rather know what is coming and brace for that than be the one who gets blindsided, that's for sure. So can we put the chart back up for just a second? Thank you. Now, I'm curious, Nomi, on the left side, which I guess would be the origin point, so to speak, you called it the real economy and the financial economy, right? What caused them to disconnect like that? And I'm afraid to ask this, but what's going to happen next?
Those are serious questions, Chris, and I'm going to answer every single one.
Okay.
But first, Chris, I got a question for you, okay?
Sure.
I'm willing to bet that you and most of the people watching followed the rules, so to speak. I mean, you went to college, you got a job, you worked hard, you have a nice suit, maybe you got promoted, you saved money, invested wisely, you followed all those rules. Yet still, you're falling behind. Does that feel familiar to you?
Well, for me, yeah. I don't like to think about it, but yeah, I think most people feel this kind of stress, like they're running on a treadmill, so to speak. Are you telling me this chart explains why?
Yeah, it does. And it all traces back to your question. What caused the split in our economy? You don't have to be a historian to get what's going on. But for just a moment, let's travel back in time to the 1970s. Okay? So late in his presidency, Richard Nixon was in trouble. You know, he was fighting a massive war in Vietnam while also launching a huge social program called the Great Society. Now, the war and this huge spending program weren't cheap. Combined, their cost was about $3.2 trillion in today's money. So can you guess how he paid for it all?
The classic way is to raise taxes. Quite a bit, I'm sure.
Well, Nixon certainly could have pushed Congress to raise taxes, but he didn't.
Okay, so then he borrowed billions of dollars, maybe?
That's another good guess, but as it turns out, he did something that no president had ever done before or since. He distorted the U.S. dollar.
Meaning?
He took America off of the gold standard.
And that kicked off a corresponding distortion in our economy?
A massive distortion. Take a look at this. Do you see what happened starting in 1971 here?
Yeah. Wow. So it looks like the chart spikes right there.
Exactly. So what you're looking at there, Chris, is it's the U.S. money supply. And from that point on, an explosion of new money flooded into the economy, which on the surface sounds like a good thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But where did all that cash go? Didn't go to you or me or to our parents. So let's quickly put back up that first chart. Do you notice a pattern?
Oh, well, yeah, if I'm reading that right, the financial world, Wall Street starts pulling away from Main Street at the very same time.
Exactly, 1971.
All right, so something went screwy back in 1971, but Nomi, that was 50 plus years ago, right? Is that relevant to everyone watching here today?
That is a great question. And it may seem like it's a distant memory, but 1971 was a pivotal moment in history that most people don't even know about. It's almost like the dividing line between BC and AD when it comes to our money. And the world's never been the same since. Ever since this moment, the so-called Nixon shock. No matter how hard we work, no matter how much money we save, no matter how careful we are with our investments, most people have fallen behind. And I fear that this is only going to get worse for so many Americans. But for people that know what to do, it could hand them a lot of cash in the months ahead.
Yeah, I was just thinking while you were talking about how most people used to dream about earning a six-figure salary, right? I know I did. Well, even a six-figure income is not what it used to be. Income just doesn't seem to keep up with the cost of housing and education and food.
Chris,
right?
Has the price of anything gone down since 1971?
No, now that you mention it, I can't think of anything. Maybe disco records.
Right? I mean, I'm sure Saturday Night Fever is on sale somewhere.
So let me guess. Is your big prediction today going to be higher prices and out of control inflation?
No, not at all. That's what's been happening for decades.
Yeah.
Prices have risen higher and higher. Houses, cars, medical costs, just about everything is more expensive. But the huge distortion that I'm warning about today, it's much, much bigger than that. And it's going to have a far more profound impact on your life than ordinary inflation ever could.
Bigger than spiraling inflation and crushing debt?
Much bigger, Chris. And that's why I'm calling it the Great Distortion. As you're going to see in a moment, the Great Distortion, it's already altering the fabric of society like nothing we've ever seen before. Everything from the way we travel, how we invest, where we live, and what we do for work and play. Even the appearance and function of our money could change in the next 12 months as the Great Distortion comes into focus. And I'm going to show you exactly how to position yourself to profit from that. Look, the simple fact is this. Every single facet of our lives is being disrupted by this $150 trillion distortion in ways that most folks can't even imagine. Some are going to be enriched beyond their wildest dreams. That's going to happen.
Yeah.
While everyone else will likely be left behind, stuck in a sort of permanent underclass. And that's what makes today such a make or break moment for investors. Chris, if you simply do what you've been told to do all these years, you're just going to be very badly hurt. Most people, I fear, are going to slip into poverty and just never recover. Think about this for a second. Even if you somehow got a 10% raise every year, you're still falling behind. Since 2008, housing has soared by 124%, and the cost of a college degree, it's an incredible 53% higher.
Right, and we haven't even mentioned today's prices for food and gas yet. So, Nomi, are all of these distortions, housing, education, food, gas, they're all here to stay?
They are here to stay, and they're going to get even more extreme. For most folks, this great distortion is going to be a disaster. But those who understand where the money is going to go next, they could capture more wealth than they ever thought was possible.
And you know where this $150 trillion is going to flow.
I do. I may have walked away from my position at Goldman Sachs, but I still keep my ear to the ground of the big firms that I used to work for. And there are a handful of insiders that I still talk to regularly. I also hold frequent meetings to discuss the workings of Wall Street and the economy with leaders around Washington. I've provided my expert opinion on legislation and regulatory matters across the aisle. Recently, I was invited by Senator Bernie Sanders to testify before the Senate Budget Committee. And after that, I had a long discussion with Senator Toomey's office about the Great Distortion. What I've learned, it's going to shock most people. It's the reason why I say we're never going back to normal. It's the reason why I've been invited to meet with the folks at some of the most powerful organizations in the world, like Federal Reserve officials, the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, Google, and the United States Senate, the Tokyo Stock Exchange, and the London School of Economics, working so hard to help people take charge of their money and to prepare for what's coming next.
Right. Nomi, before you show all of us, viewers at home and myself, where the money is going, I would like to know, why do you say that we're never going back to quote-unquote normal?
So ever since 1971, life's been getting harder for most people. Sure, we've got more gizmos and gadgets, and billionaires are shooting themselves into space and everything, but we have more money now than at any point in history, and yet it's never been harder to keep up.
Yeah, I think most people would agree. But why is it getting harder?
The reason is simple. All that money being printed and funneled into the economy, it's not just falling like snow, and it's not being spread out evenly. It's piling up in certain places, like Wall Street.
I understand. The rich always get richer.
Right. Do you remember the Great Recession back in 2008, where we just handed trillions of dollars to banks that were too big to fail? The regulators warned Americans that if we didn't bail out those banks, we'd have a full-scale collapse.
I remember that well.
Did you get any of that money?
Boy, I don't recall getting a check in the mail.
Of course not, right? Most of that money stayed right on Wall Street. Not only did the bailouts line the pockets of Wall Street and gut the real economy, they made that distortion much, much worse.
Okay, so if I'm hearing you correctly, this distortion began 5 decades ago, and it's made life in general much, much more difficult for most of us, and now it's getting worse.
Yeah, so think about it like this, Chris. When was the last time that things felt right in America? In the past year or two alone, we've seen massive protests, fires, looting in the streets, a huge trucker convoy clogging the streets of Washington, D.C. while I was actually there. We've seen wild and unpredictable shortages of everything from toilet paper to automobiles, along with lumber, eggs, even the copper penny has been distorted. You know, it's now worth 3 cents thanks to the soaring price of copper. But one key driver of our economy has become more plentiful than ever. Let's take a quick look at another chart, okay? Do you see the arrows I've drawn? The green arrow shows money supply before the Great Recession.
Right. Pretty flat.
Right. So now look at the red arrow. Do you see what happened in 2008?
Yeah, the chart suddenly spikes higher. Why is that?
That was fall of 2008, actually October 3rd, to be exact. The day the federal government bailed out the Wall Street banks. But that's not all they did. Over the next 12 years, the Fed printed so many dollars that our money supply doubled by 2020. In other words, our government hasn't tapped the brakes on the printing press in any meaningful way since 2008. And that's why today it's become harder and harder for Americans to make ends meet. There's just simply no way to get ahead of this by earning money in a job.
So I have to wonder, if that's true, maybe that's why so many people have thrown up their hands and quit, right? I saw a report by CNBC that said 4.3 million Americans quit their jobs in a single month.
Yeah, that's right, Chris. And that was just 1 month. More than 4 million people have walked out on their jobs every single month since late last year. It's simple math. Why would you work hard, take time away from your family in a just soul-crushing job, if the price of the things that you want to buy is soaring faster than you can earn that money? If your daily lunch goes up by 10%, are you guaranteed a 10% raise? Or if the cost of your commute zooms 20% higher, is your boss somehow going to match that?
I highly doubt it.
Right, of course not. And that's why most people are falling farther behind. At this point, they'd be lucky to just tread water because of the Fed's exponential money printing. So if you keep doing what you're doing, expecting the world to make sense, you're going to be in for a lot of pain in the weeks ahead. Just take a look.
Whoa.
That's exactly the reaction I expected, Chris. If you think doubling our money supply between 2008 and 2020 distorted our economy, what do you think happens when they inject tens of trillions of dollars into the financial system like they have in the last 2 years?
I can't even begin to guess. And now I know a lot of folks are convinced it'll crash.
And that's exactly what I used to think too. But this chart and also the market's reaction to the Fed, it's just totally changed my thinking about a market crash. You see, the mainstream press thinks the Federal Reserve is going to stop printing money to put a lid on inflation, right? But once again, they've got it completely wrong. In reality, the exact opposite is about to happen. With all the turmoil in the markets right now, there's absolutely zero way the Federal Reserve is going to risk shutting off the spigot anytime soon. According to Reason magazine, if the Fed raises rates by even 1 point, the national debt would increase by $30 trillion. Can you imagine if rates went back up to 5% or 6% or the historic average of 8%? The truth is, if they stop printing and normalize interest rates, it'll be like pulling the pin from a grenade strapped to their own chest.
So it actually sounds like it could crush the economy and lead to the Fed's destruction.
Exactly. It's not going to happen. It simply can't happen. This catch-22 is what changed my thinking about the potential for an epic crash. The mainstream media will never tell you this, but according to my research, the Fed can't raise rates enough to stop inflation, and they absolutely won't stop printing.
Right. So in effect, the government is between a rock and a hard place here.
That's exactly right. And that's why we're seeing all these bizarre things that we're seeing right now in our economy. It's all related. As a result, thousands of Americans will soon become impoverished, and others will become much, much wealthier practically overnight. I used to think we could fix this mess, right? I thought there might be a government solution to this picture, but I've come to realize that the gap, it's only getting wider. And that's why it's imperative that you close the gap personally right now. Crazy things are happening in the world. So if you're confused, I get it. None of this is normal.
Right.
I recently saw a story about this 12-year-old girl who's made almost $6 million on NFTs.
Holy cow. That's more than most people are going to make in their entire lives.
Right? At the same time, in cities across America, the folks in the middle class are struggling to keep a roof over their heads.
Yeah, so two different extremes, two sides of the same coin.
Exactly. Many Americans don't even know it yet, but they're soon going to be left behind. It doesn't matter if you're making $50,000 a year or $500,000. Everyone's going to feel that pinch. On his recent podcast, for example, billionaire Michael Saylor said, "I'm a very wealthy man. I can't afford to buy a house in the Hamptons." They're selling houses for $25 million on 2 acres. Of course, most of us aren't billionaires, and Michael Saylor will probably be just fine. But now that you understand what's happening, there is an upside to all the chaos. I believe that the opportunity to make huge gains with just a few well-placed investments has never been better than it is today. Nobody in authority will tell you this, certainly not the mainstream media, but if you understand where this tidal wave of new money is flooding, you can position yourself to profit from this $150 trillion windfall. And potentially, you could multiply your wealth in the months ahead. And that's why we're here today.
And that is where we want to be, right? Sounds like we're getting to the fun part here, because to be honest, Nomi, I'm tired. I think a lot of people out there are sick of waiting for the world to make sense again and sick of watching the life we want slip away from us, out of the realm of possibilities here. But I am wondering, where is all this money going to be coming from, and what's behind its move? What's behind it all?
Yeah, okay, great question. Let's get into that. I know when we throw around a number like $150 trillion, it's hard to fathom, but I'm not exaggerating. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen alluded to this shift when she spoke to a group of very powerful decision makers recently. She said that we're about to see a global transition for which we have an estimated price tag between $100 and $150 trillion over the next 3 decades.
Okay, global transition. So the U.S. government is driving this distortion?
Well, the current administration is heavily involved, along with 136 other countries. More than 90 banks are supporting the plan as well, including the Bank of America. And billionaires like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk recently invested a portion of their own fortunes to get in front of this massive transition.
All right, so the government, big Wall Street banks, you mentioned Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk. I'm a little stunned by this, Nomi. What is all this going to mean to investors today?
Great question, Chris. In a minute, I'm going to show you my favorite way to make huge profits as this great distortion plays out. But first, I'd like to show the viewers what happens when you're able to connect the dots as a huge distortion is unfolding. When you think back to the Nixon shock in 1971, the value of the dollar plummeted and prices went haywire. Folks who sat on the sidelines just waiting for a return to some sort of normal were crushed by inflation. But the investors who bought hard assets like gold, they could have earned an incredible 2,300% return. And we saw a similar situation in 2008.
Yeah, I remember the government bailed out the banks.
Right, to the tune of $7.7 trillion. And again, most folks who were in the wrong place got crushed when stocks collapsed and real estate values plummeted. But those who were able to see through the carnage and spot the pattern could have pocketed huge gains. Investors who took a stake in Apple in 2008, for example, and held on until today, they could have turned $1,000 into $32,500. And we're seeing a similar opportunity play out again right now. Once again, many people will be crushed, while a handful will spot that pattern and they're going to prosper. Chris, do you see what all these moments had in common?
Well, it I guess seems to me, at least on the surface, that these were all responses to some crisis or another, right?
Bingo, that's right. We have seen one crisis after another. And the same response has always happened. More money printing. And that's driven the huge disconnect between the real world and the financial world that I showed you before.
Okay, I got it. And all that money swirling around does create this massive distortion, in your words, which is going to be harmful to most people and yet helpful to others.
That's right, you've got it.
Okay.
Yeah, wars, pandemics, deteriorating social conditions, they're all met with massive money printing. But we haven't seen anything yet. In the months ahead, the great distortion is about to become a runaway train. We're already seeing the early signs of change in everything from investing to technology to art, transportation, and entertainment. Even food is being disrupted. But for most people, the next stage of the complete transformation that we're about to see will be every bit as confusing as electricity was when it first lit up cities across the American frontier, as jarring as the automobile replacing the horse and buggy against the wishes of millions in America, and even more revolutionary than radio, the TV, and the internet, which have all transformed the way we communicate. 10 years from now, we're going to look back and realize nearly every single industry has been fundamentally reshaped, distorted like nothing we've ever seen before. The Great Distortion is the biggest transfer of wealth in history. And you can either use it to grow your wealth by leaps and bounds, or you can ignore it and hope for a return to normal and risk missing out on this historic wealth building opportunity. That choice is yours. If you make the right moves, you could set yourself up for the retirement of your dreams. But for most Americans, those who choose to ignore my warning here today, or even worse, those who see it and fail to prepare, well, they may never be able to forgive themselves for missing out.
Yeah, you've laid it out nicely here. So, let me just ask you, what can our viewers do today to avoid missing out?
So, Chris, I've been following the money on Wall Street and in Washington, D.C. for decades. I have traveled tens of thousands of miles, from Berlin to Shanghai, Sao Paulo to Tokyo, all to get the pulse of the global economy and what it means to ordinary people and to their money. I have met with government leaders and financial movers and shakers around the planet, and that's while writing 6 books on economics, history, the stock market, and Wall Street. And my 7th book is actually called Permanent Distortion: How the Financial Markets Abandoned the Real Economy Forever. And that's going to be available in bookstores around the world this fall. But if you wait until then to take action, you could miss out on the bulk of the gains. And I just don't want anyone to miss out. That's why I've distilled the key points in a special report to show today's viewers my very favorite way to profit from this $150 trillion wealth transfer. Inside, I'm going to show you all the details of a small firm that could soar as it disrupts one of the world's most critical industries. And as we've seen over the last few months, conflicts around the world and shortages at home have injected an urgency into the plans for a new energy reality. We can no longer rely on foreign dictators and adversaries for America's energy needs. Most people don't even realize it yet, but many are still living in the realities of the past. But the energy industry, which is worth more than $2 trillion, is one of the biggest industries being transformed by America's Great Distortion.
How so? I mean, what are these changes going to look like?
Well, they're already happening. Look at what just happened at ExxonMobil, for example. Chris, would you believe me if I told you the world's biggest oil company just put 3 people on its board that hate oil?
Are you kidding me? It doesn't make any sense.
Right, and that's the trap many are going to fall into, thinking that way. But you can avoid the trap if you understand this one fundamental thing. The world that we grew up in is gone. And this trend toward new energy, it's inevitable. It's going to advance regardless of anything else that happens and whether we like it or not. And ultimately, it's going to turn out to be one of the biggest drivers of investment dollars in this $150 trillion transfer of wealth. In my special report called The Number One Stock for America's Great Distortion, I'm going to show you my favorite new energy stock. And it's owned by just about every major institution on Wall Street. Everyone from Citadel to Vanguard and Morgan Stanley, they can see what's happening. Mm-hmm. And in the last